Hey, it's Mr. X here with another battle gameplay. Today we're featuring the Battle of Alexandria between the forces of the French Republic and the United Kingdom. Leading the forces of the French Republic today is General Louis Charles Antoine Doucet, and leading the forces of the United Kingdom today is Sir Ralph Abercrombie. Also leading the French reinforcements today is General Jean-Baptiste Kléber. A little couple turns, I think only one turn ago actually, the British landed in just northwest of Alexandria in Egypt, and they began to siege Alexandria, and I had an army nearby under the control of General Doucet, and so I attacked them, and that's where we find ourselves today at the Battle of Alexandria. If you look at my forces today, I have two corps of 3 battalions of Fusilier de Lines. All 210. All of them are 210 strong. I have 2 battalions of militia. I only have 1 unit of artillery today. It is 8-pounders, so both accurate and powerful. And I also do have 2 units of chasseurs on foot. Both of those battalions are 210 men strong. I also have 2 cavalry units of light cavalry chasseurs on horseback. If you look at the British forces today, they have about maybe a little more than half a dozen units of line infantry, basic foot soldiers. They have, I believe, 3 teams of mortars, field artillery units. Let's see, 1, 2, a couple units there, and they also have some light cavalry dragoons, and another unit of light cavalry dragoons. Now, coming in from the north, kind of just behind the rear of the main British Army, you can see I have some armed citizenry coming in. They won't be playing a huge role in the battle, but in the end they'll probably end up taking town if I do succeed in driving the British out of town. But I did gain General Jean-Baptiste Kléber, and he will help with morale boosts with probably this other division. So since I only have 1 unit of artillery, I kind of put them in my center, and they have a clear view to attack those moving foot soldiers of the British forces. I've divided my forces into 2 wings of attack here, as you can see. 3 units of Fusilier de Lines with some militia behind them to give covering fire. Same thing over here, some units of Fusilier de Lines with some chasseurs on foot. I put them in light infantry formation because if there's any mortar fire, as you can see there's some mortar fire here, it won't land as big of a punch because the men are more spread out. And I'm putting both of my cavalry units over here because this looks like where they'll be needed more, not on my left wing. And the good thing about having 2 generals now is I can put 1 general in each wing of attack to help during morale situations. But my main goal right now is to, with my left wing, to bring them forward and wipe out any, because it looks like the right side of their main army is kind of weak, so I'm hopefully going to wipe out their right side. And then the main goal of my right wing is to hold strong and not be too aggressive, but hold until my left wing can flank, and we can have a bit of a flank attack from my left wing, and hopefully we'll be able to defeat them in this kind of center of town over here. Since the last battle, I lost the region of Mansoura and Dakhala to the Mamluks. That was the town, if you remember, that I looted. I got about 12,000 coin. Kind of putting my soldiers in square formation here to counter this dragoon attack. I was given the objective mission to master morale, which I believe was to make a theater or something to boost troops' morale. Also, the Ottomans entered the Nile region. Ottomans were mainly, all their regions were in were east of me, kind of in the Middle East by the Sinai and Galilee. But the small Ottoman force has entered the Nile region. And that's basically it that's happened. I think the last battle was about 2 turns ago, so not much has happened. And now we can focus on the main battle. My forces have been taking some mortar fire, but haven't lost too much men. That's good. My main Fusilier de Lines still have, well, they've lost about 30 men, but my chasseurs on foot are still holding strong. I have some squares formed over here to counter that dragoon threat, and it did. So they'll be put back into normal lined up formation, I guess you would say. Over here I'm just kind of bringing my armed citizenry. They'll probably be stationed right here, and Our citizenry is, the weakest unit in the game, so I don't have any big plans for them. Usually what I do use them, if you watched my videos before, they usually capture buildings and towns, just like the main buildings, just to kind of give covering fire if needed. Let's see over here, we have some few zero lines facing off and some basic foot soldiers. My chasseurs on foot have a longer range, so they can already start firing. Looks like we got my armed citizenry being attacked by their light cavalry. So what I'm going to do here is honestly just, I'll tell them to charge the light cavalry, because that's really the only hope I have to beat them. 100 dragoons versus, probably just maybe a little over 1,000 armed mob. So we'll see how that works out in a little bit. So got 2 general staff still holding strong. I'm bringing my 1 general staff over here to make sure they don't lose too much morale. I should probably bring them back a little more, because they're kind of out on their own, as you can see. And as you can see, they really didn't do anything on their right side of their armies, so I can bring my light infantry here to quickly help out with this foot battalion. But then, after that foot battalion has been defeated, I'm going to bring them more over here in this part of town, because I want the main engagement of my 2 armies to be over here, where those buildings to be covered, to like hide behind, to not receive so much direct volley, but not over here where it's just open space. Check back over here. Still have 75 dragoons. Armed citizenry kind of holding out. You can see all the dead horsemen over here. You can see those mortar fires here and there. Some of my things I hate the most in this game are howitzers and mortars, because I like them when I'm on my side, but it's so annoying when you're marching up and you just have to face this massive shelling that blows up. You lose like 30 men. So this infantry battalion has lost over 100 men. But they already got some British. Oh no, those are my cavalry I chose to attack these light infantry. I have the 2 chasseurs on horseback. The nice thing about them is they can also fire their guns. They're not only hand-to-hand combat. Looks like all my armed citizenry is retreating, unfortunately. But hopefully they were able to weaken their forces. They lost 40 horsemen. They lost 60 horsemen, so that worked out. And I think I still have some more armed citizenry coming, under the command of Jean-Baptiste Kleber. I'm going to try to attack the remaining light cavalry with my chasseurs. And this is the farthest I'm going to have my this right wing go. I'm going to hold them steady until my left wing can get farther into town. We got some exchange of volley fire. You can see over here I'm bringing my left corps of line infantry into this little corridor. I was able to force. Let's see where my cavalry are. Oh, they're still there, never mind. My artillery is still holding strong in my center. There. I'm going to bring them up right now, up to where the main engagements are, so they'll be able to be more accurate. And they're not really under any threat at all, as you can see. The right side is protected from my troops, and the left side is, for the most part, protected. And the British don't really have anything on their right side, so my cavalry here are going to try to harass their remaining cavalry units. In the meantime, I'm charging this light infantry battalion. I'm advancing my right corps a bit. The 2 light infantry battalions supporting them from behind. And in the meantime, they had no really main foot battalions right in this center part, so I decided to take the opportunity and do a cavalry charge attacking their 3 field artillery teams of mortars. I've already taken the first one. There's 2 remaining, I believe, maybe just 1. So we kind of have a cat and mouse game going over here. So yeah, you can see this horsemen are able to fire from on mount back. See my artillery advancing over there. They'll probably be used again maybe in the next 3 minutes when they arrive farther up here. Already one unit of British cavalry is retreating. I'll attack the other units in a bit. So we've got a tough infantry engagement going on here. And they forced the British foot soldiers to retreat. I brought General, I don't know if that was Kléber. I think that was Jean-Baptiste Kléber, yes, that helped them gain their morale. I'm bringing the militia up. They're going to kind of be in this little corridor to be protected by these 3 buildings. I'm going to put, I think, maybe 1 unit of militia into this armory. I brought my right wing into kind of more closer to my left wing to kind of form a stronger center. Because as you can see, they're kind of moving their soldiers, expanding them more, so I kind of had a vulnerable right side. I'm still waiting for them to take the town, as they kind of are right now. Still have 1 cavalry unit that's 90 horsemen strong, and the other one is 100 men strong, I believe. Oh no, they've lost about 40 men since that recent attack. But I was able to wipe out all their artillery, so that's a good note. Looks like the British have about maybe half a dozen, a little more than half a dozen units of infantry left. My right wing with the line infantry have kind of lost a lot of men. Let's see, 100. Each battalion has lost at least 100 men. But my left wing is still strong. You can see some more armed citizenry coming in on my behalf. So they'll probably take the town here. As you can see, there's no one really in there. The British decide to attack, so I just put these 3 battalions in squares, and they'll probably retreat in a bit.
The men are fatigued, sir. Must rest awhile.
You can see my artillery is almost on its way to be set up again. I'm bringing my chasseurs, a cheval, over here closer to the general, so their morale does not weaken anymore. Those cavalry units, they are retreating as well, so the entire right wing of the British army has been defeated. All they have is their strong center, however. So I'm taking them out of square formation. I'll put them right in front of Town Hall. They will not take Town Hall, but I took my light infantry battalions out of the skirmish formation because they have no threat from artillery now, so they can form a stronger battalions in a tighter formation. Looks like we got some returning foot battalion soldiers on behalf of the British Army. I'll attack them soon in a little bit. They should be no problem. Bringing the other unit of militia into this little corridor over here. So kind of a little ceasefire here for a little bit as both armies are kind of putting in new formations and such. As you can see, the British Army is kind of getting more into volley fire mode, spreading out their line infantry units. They still have a lot of strong line infantry battalions, so definitely not over yet. Trying to think of anything else to talk about in the campaign. After this army is going to be the army that, hoping that I come out victorious, this is the army that will land in Cyprus to hopefully get rid of the British threat in the Far East by wiping out their only base, which is an island I'm kind of in the middle of the Far East. I forget what the name of the sea is, I apologize. Hopefully I will take that. And then with this army, I'll probably land in the middle of the Ottoman Empire, probably north of Galilee, far north of Galilee, kind of northwest of Damascus. And I'll try to get those victory regions there. Over here, I can use some grape shot. They're getting closer in range that grape shot will become useful. These foot soldiers are, horsemen are able to kind of shoot and run. It's a nice little feature. Cat and mouse game going over here to try to attack their foot battalion.
The men of fatigues are
Looks like, I'm actually not going to put them in that armory. I'm just going to put them in this little corridor here and bring their other unit of militia down into this little center right here. I'm actually going to bring that unit of militia into this armory. They can kind of lay some covering fire before I make my main offensive. And that unit of foot is retreating, so I'll put that corps of soldiers right here. Looks like they had some artillery units that returned. So I'm going to have to wipe them out soon, because that's one thing that annoys me. The grape shot's still working wonders over here. I've already forced one unit to retreat. But the leader of the main French forces is, as I said before, General Doucet. He was a very esteemed general. Napoleon really liked him a lot. He was popular in the Egyptian campaign. Unfortunately, he died during the Egyptian campaign, so he was not able to serve Napoleon or become a Marshal of France during the next, 5 coalitions and the next 10 years of warfare in Europe. So, but General Doucet was a very good friend of Napoleon, but unfortunately he died during the campaign, I believe, of sickness. I don't think it was during battle, but he did die. Looks like these foot soldiers are deciding to advance against some grape shots, so we'll see how that works out for the United Kingdom. Yeah, you can see some shelling going on over here. That kind of annoys me. So I will probably attack them soon. Try to get some horse. Once these 2 battalions of foot soldiers get out, I'll be able to charge with these chasseurs and get rid of those foot artillery or field artillery units. Yeah, they're both already retreating, so grape shot working wonders right there. I'm advancing my left corps, or formerly my left corps. Now there's just 3 units of line infantry kind of right here in front of these buildings, right behind the armory. So they're just getting ready for that offensive that's going to come in a little bit. I'm bringing all of my armed citizenry that came back. I bought 4 units. They're just going to kind of come on the left side and maybe provide a very weak flank against these remaining line infantry units, but they probably won't serve anything big. Still that 76 men strong unit of chasseurs. And there it goes, attacking those field artillery units. Bringing this battalion of militia over here to help during the next offensive. I have General Colibert over on the left here, supporting the left wing, and I have General Doucet on my right wing, helping them. And looks like my chasseurs are retreating. They probably face some fire from the foot, so I have lost 1 unit of cavalry now. Looks like we got some British soldiers gaining their morale back, so I'll just wipe them out once again with some grape shot. Now I'm bringing my right wing into the center, to this little patch of buildings and trees here. I'm also moving my artillery once again after this next round of grape shot, or once they wipe out those foot soldiers, they're gonna move and kind of get in this area more, so they can lay down some even more powerful artillery fire. Because from this angle, if they fire once my soldiers, my right wing gets where it wants to be, they're gonna be right in the way, and I don't want to have any friendly fire going on. You can see the remains of the former right side of the French or British army.
The men of fatigues are a must restaurant.
General Doucet advancing a little bit to help with morale. I brought General Kleber up here to help with the morale of the militia units in the armory. You can see them firing from the armory. I'm bringing General Doucet over here. He'll give a rally to boost morale because we have some units lacking over here. As you can see, I'm moving artillery as it is now. So instead of moving the artillery right now, I moved my right wing in two. I moved the line infantry units to the left and the light infantry units to the right to provide an empty corridor just full of British troops instead of French and British that can be targeted with this artillery. As you can see, that just wiped out. Almost wiped out. Yep, wiped out one unit of foot, so that was a good decision. My left wing's still waiting for my right wing to kind of catch up, and the original plan was to flank here with my right wing being kind of defensive, my left wing being aggressive, but in the end it's going to be my right wing being aggressive by swinging around to flank the eventual remaining forces of their army. And since they had another battalion, if they regained their morale, I'm just attacking with them with this light infantry, those two light infantry battalions. Now I'm charging this foot battalion with all of my armed citizenry, so we'll see how this works out. See that mass of soldiers there? We already, one unit of armed citizenry already is retreating, so. I didn't expect too much, so. And it looks like might be the last unit of foot soldiers in that little section right there by the British Army. Hopefully my field artillery can wipe them out. Foot artillery, I should say. And then I also brought in the my chasseurs to attack their light infantry soldiers. So I guess you could say the armed citizenry kind of served as a preliminary attack that would weaken them. My cavalry would go in for the final kill to force them to retreat. I don't know why my light infantry are still fighting their 100 men strong foot battalion. I don't know. I must have accidentally moved them away or something. Looks like Finally, they are retreating, so my right wing can swing around the flank. But looks like my horse cavalry as it is able to wipe out both of those foot battalions. So now I'm just advancing my left corps of line infantry units. It looks like they're formally their center. It's probably going to retreat, but it looks like from the beginning they're going to gain their morale back. So now I'm going to move my foot artillery to foot artillery to a better position. Advancing both wings of my army. I still have both all 6 battalions of line infantry, so that's a positive note. It looks like still 3 units of foot soldiers. Looks like they are just kind of running. They're exhausted, so I'll probably attack them with cavalry here in a second. Finally, my line infantry were able to get rid of those returning British troops. Looks like now they are withdrawing from the battle, and I don't want to let a massive army, not massive army, but a sizable army leave the battlefield, so I'm going to attack them with cavalry. I'm going to try to rush my troops out there so they can lay some more fire down. The battlefield ends right over here, so I'm going to try to limit the amount of British forces that are able to leave intact. Entire army advancing now. Besides armed citizenry, they're kind of returning to town to take the buildings. See my cavalry there charging? We'll take a look at that. Doing an infantry charge now. It looks like one unit of British forces will get away, but that looks like that is the end of the battle. See here in a bit. Yeah. That is the end of the battle. A victory for the French Republic under the command of General Doucet. Take a look here. They had a couple more soldiers than me. And a good portion of my soldiers were armed citizenry, so look at unit stats here. And it looks like the chasseurs on foot with 280 kills will receive the battle unit of the day. So that is a victory for the French Republic at the Battle of Alexandria, and will hopefully drive the British out of Egypt for once and for all. So other than that, this is Mr. X Irish. Thanks for watching. I'll have another video out soon.